Facebook sucks. Facebook's dead. It all went when your parents joined. Have you written off Facebook? Are you just completely ignoring it? Well, business owner, marketing person, wonderful human being that you are, in this episode of the Business Amplifier podcast, I'm talking to Deirdre Sheen. She's the CEO of CAPSHO, so she knows her stuff, and she's going to give you 3 Facebook posts that will get you leads. Ready? Let's do it. So Deirdre, Facebook's dead, right? I mean, I'm not on it. My mum checks up on me on it. I'm not going to use it for my business. If I really believed that, how much trouble would I be in?
Oh, look, I mean, I'm not a disciplinarian, so I'm not going to go with a ruler or a stick. But, I would never write off any platform as long as your audience is on there.
Absolutely. So, I mean, almost every client we work with does have an audience of some size on Facebook. But I think a lot of people still flounder around sort of knowing what to say to them. So during this episode, Deirdre is going to very kindly share 3 really great types of posts that will get you leads. So Deirdre, number 1, what is post type number 1?
Yeah. So the first post is what I call the say me post, i.e. you want people to literally be in the comments saying me, like me. This is how we're actually going to start to identify and call forward our ideal audience. So how that happens is, from our perspective, for example, what we'll do is we'll record a podcast episode or a YouTube video or have some kind of training. I'll actually have, I use CAPSHO just to be very transparent. That is the software business that we developed, but the strategy is built into CAPSHO. So I'll use CAPSHO. You don't have to. You could use, you could just use your brain, or you could use another AI platform like a ChatGPT. And basically, what you want to do is from there have an idea of what a really great lead magnet idea could be. Now, as I mentioned, CAPSHO will already create a checklist lead magnet from the content that you've uploaded into it. And then what you do, the Say Me post, is really simple. It's all about, once you have the idea of what the lead magnet is, i.e. you know what problem or solution, what problem it solves for or what solution it's providing, you just want to do a 1-sentence post, and it's going to be on Facebook. It's one of those bold text on the purple background posts. Mm-hmm. And you're literally going to be like, currently working on a checklist that, and then you insert problem it solves for, or the solution it provides, whichever angle you want to take. Who wants it? That's it. And literally, if you have the right audience following you and you've actually hit the right problem or that they have or the solution that they're looking for, you will have people say me in the comments, right?
That's awesome. That is, say me.
Yeah. And then what you do, because that's not the end of it, because we want to actually convert them into leads, is you then take that conversation into the DMs. Obviously, you want to give them the resource because they've put their hand up for it. But it's actually the trigger. And this is always, this is what people generally always need on social media, is the trigger. Otherwise, because I hate reaching out to people, without you feel icky, you feel like you're that salesy person. So it's like, no, if they've given you a trigger, they've given you permission to reach out to them, right? They've said me. So it's like, awesome. I'm going to DM you the resource, and by the way, if you wanted to put it behind a, not a paywall, but like an email paywall, you can also start building your list this way as well. So you can start building your list. But more importantly, what you want to start using that conversation for is to actually start to uncover needs and to actually start to create a conversation. And whether or not you can help them, or whether you can, you might be able to put them in touch with someone else who can, that's the point, right? You just want to be of service. So that's the first Say Me post. Do you have any questions? I think it's pretty simple.
I like it. I like it a lot, because from a psychological point of view, the early days of the internet, everyone was just sort of chucking resources out there, going, hey, have this. And without buy-in, then people, even if they do download your PDF or join the mailing list or whatever the action that you want them to do is, there's not as much buy-in as when somebody identifies something in themselves because we all want to be part of a tribe. You know, we're all
Yes.
basically cave people, you know, at heart. And people, yeah, that's me. I want to be that. So that's cool. So number one, fantastic lead generating Facebook post, or anyone else really. We're sticking with because that seemed like the challenge. So what is the second type
The
of
second, I'd say this is kind of almost the follow on from, so I would generally do these 3 posts like kind of pretty consecutively. They don't have to be every day, but they could be every couple of days, or, you know, depending on how much you like to post, you could even do it once a week. So this could literally go like over 3 weeks. But the second type of post, I call it the why post. And this is literally, again, you're leaning on the resource that you're creating, but you're kind of explaining the why behind it. Like, why is this actually important? And so this is where you're actually going a little bit deeper into the problem or the solution, depending on which angle you're taking. But let's say it's the problem angle. It's kind of like you're really calling out, you know, the people who maybe they didn't immediately identify that they had this problem with your first post because it was a very short, like, you know, bam. But once you start getting into it, they're like, oh, actually, you're right. I am struggling with this, or I do have this particular problem. Like, yes, maybe this is something I need. So it's a little bit of a longer form post, a little bit more text, maybe with an image or a video. But it's essentially it's the why behind why they should get the resource or why they need the resource. But the call to action is the same at the end. It's like, say, like, who wants it? You know, and again, you want people to be saying me, and it's the same process. Get them in the DMs, start uncovering needs,
start building relationships with these people. So it's kind of cool. It's starting to play out like a story.
Yeah.
So even if the people might be curious with the say me post, I'm not quite ready to stick their hand in the air, but with the why post, I think it's potentially a big trust builder as well, because
100%.
Consumers are very wary of being sold at. Whereas if this type of messaging, the reason I like what you're saying is that it's building a relationship of trust, rather than saying buy my stuff or get my stuff like an order. It's saying this is an invitation. I understand you. You'll be all right. We'll look after you. So we have number one, the say me post. Number two, the why post. What is the third type of post?
Yeah. So I call the third post the BTS post, and it's not the Korean pop band. It stands for behind the scenes. And so the behind the scenes post can be as simple as, you know, you taking a shot of yourself, like working on the lead magnet, for example. But it's kind of like it's continuing the story, as you meant, like, and a reminder as well that it's like, hey, this is a really valuable thing that I'm working on, and it's going to help solve XYZ. Again, who wants it? So that's one angle for the BTS post. The other angle that I like a lot is actually if the solution that it's providing, maybe you've had a client that has used it or a semblance of it and has gotten some results. Yeah, it's a case study. Maybe you've personally done it, and you can actually tell the story behind the kind of like the before and after. So I really love case study posts for this, but obviously I know it's not relevant for, you know, every type of lead magnet that we might be creating. So that's why I give the option. So you can either do sort of a case study led one, or you can do sort of just a very simple, like, behind the scenes, I'm working on this thing, who wants it?
This is wonderful. So this is three ways to kind of endear people towards your brand as well. Yeah. And it all comes down to the know, like, trust thing. So any brand, we're always trying to get people to get to know us as humans, as our authentic selves, and like what we do and trust us enough to take action. And I think these 3 posts, they really sum that up really nicely. It's a really nice kind of, so the behind the scenes, would you do that? Do these have to go in this order? Do they have to, number one have to be the same either, number 2 have to be the why, and the third has to be behind the scenes? Yeah,
I would never say like it has to. We found that this is the order that works for us. Definitely starting with the say me. I would highly encourage starting with just that, because you get the, I guess we call them like the emotional buyers, or like the people who are just like, they're quick to make a decision, right? So that's kind of the purpose of the first post. The second and third, you could probably mix and match that. So you could maybe do the third one second, and the second one third. But generally, what we've seen this sequence work.
No, brilliant. Absolutely love it. So everyone who's watching or listening to this, if they could only remember one thing, if they had one takeaway from all the great value that you've added in this episode, what would you like that to be?
I think importantly, it's like if you're trying to grow, you're an entrepreneur, obviously, you're listening to this podcast, you're trying to grow your business in some way. The main thing is, how do you give yourself the trigger to actually have the conversations, to build the relationships? I've kind of like condensed it down to a really simple 3-post strategy. But really, even if you didn't do that and you came up with another way where you're like, oh, actually, this is the way that I want to talk to my audience, but I know it's going to give me the trigger to actually deepen the relationship with them. That's really the important, like that's the crux here that we're trying to, we're really trying to unlock. So that would be the one thing. It's like, how do you create a trigger for yourself, especially if you're the kind of person like me who feels a little bit icky, just like reaching out to people. The important thing is give yourself the permission to do that.
Fantastic, Deirdre. Now, before we go, could you give us the elevator pitch for your elevator? I don't know what an elevator is. It's just like an elevator that teases you, I guess. An elevator pitch for your software, because it's a very interesting thing.
Yeah, thank you. It's called CAPSHO, CAPSHO. Literally the 3 posts that I mentioned plus the checklist lead magnet, we've actually built that into CAPSHO. That's one of the things that CAPSHO creates. But in short, what it is, if you are an entrepreneur, so you're a coach, you're a consultant, service provider, and you want to actually amplify your content that you're already creating, then CAPSHO is for you. So what you would do is upload an audio or video file, whether you have a podcast like we're doing now, or you have a YouTube channel, maybe you just have training courses, or you do webinars, whatever it is, you can upload that into CAPSHO and it will create all of the content marketing assets you need: text, image, and video. So that's what CAPSHO does. And can I offer them a really good, great deal?
Oh, go for it. I think
cool.
By now people should be well and truly a trusting, knowing, and liking.
Yeah, awesome. Well, obviously sign up, you get a 7-day free trial. And when you do sign up, put in the code forever50, because if you do like it and you decide to stay on, then that will give you 50% off the CAPSHO plan for as long as you're with us.
Fantastic. I'll put the link in the show notes. So it just remains for me to say thank you very much, Deirdre. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Deirdre. That was fantastic. 3 types of posts that will get you leads: the Say Me post, the Why post, and the Behind the Scenes post. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this interesting. I've not got much more to say other than please like, please subscribe, and join me to make more songs like I did at the beginning of this one, because I quite enjoyed that, but I don't know what you might have thought. There we go. I'm Andrew Laws. I shall be Andrew Laws for a long time. You've been watching and listening to the Business Amplifier podcast, so go tell your mum.